My hair is laid like Nessa girl. This is the interview that we needed. Let's talk about it. But before we do, y'all please hit the like button or subscribe if you haven't. All right, let's get into what we came here for. The mess. So, child, I just watched that Carlos King and funkydineva interview, and it was just what the people needed. Carlos, I see you getting your Barbara Walters on. And I just love how you are giving all the villains an opportunity for we the people to see another side to them. Now, some it works for, and some it don't. But we not gonna get into naming names. JR. But anyway, so the interview opened up with Dineva getting into his upbringing and his family dynamics. And I was quite surprised when he said that his father was more accepting of his lifestyle than his mother. I said, wow, that's quite rare for Black fathers. And now this is just my opinion. Y'all funky supporters, I'm a member of the Funky Bunch too, so don't come for me. But his mother's disapproval may be the part of the reason why he goes so hard on Black women. Yeah, there may be a bit of an undertone with that. He then got into his struggles that he had while starting YouTube and how he worked for corporate America and how unsatisfying it was for him. But he held on to the job to pay the bills. Those who follow him already know the story and his saying, work ain't honest, but it pays the bills. Child, no, it's not. And this inflation has some of us out here working like Jamaicans. Child, I sure enough got free jobs. He talked about what made him go full throttle with YouTube, which this part of the interview was very inspiring to me. He said it was him being let go from corporate that made him create an opportunity for himself. He said he initially started the opportunity for himself while working his accounting job unknowingly, just by talking about his daily struggles on the job on Facebook, and that's where his following started. Then while playing around in that old wig and feeling real fishy bish, that made him upload it to YouTube. And I remember those old videos too. The first one I remember watching was when he was in a bathtub splashing water with that wig on. Now, at first I was like, what in the world is going on? But as soon as he called himself funkydineva Ross, the boss, I was sold. So that was my now deceased mother's idol too, Diana Ross. Now, although Funky was a young person, he very much had an old soul, and his vernacular was just like the girls from the 70s. I know, because child, my mama used to have people from all walks of life at our dinner table. So I very much resonated with Dineva. Anyway, Carlos then asked Funky on what YouTubers did he think had next. And of course, he named Kempire, DJ Richie Sky. He had to give it up to Tasha K, Bondi Blue, and he also named Armand Wiggins. Now, as of present day, I think those were good choices. Now, there were better choices back in the day, but we can roll with what he chose. Carlos asked Funky about not how he wasn't happy on TGIF, and Funky's response was, it was just a lot of background BS going on. Funky raised the question and made a statement about the TGIF work environment. He said, why can't we just come to work, read the topics, and do what we got to do, and that just be that? And honey, I'll tell you, because Claudia's trauma bonded mixed girl insecurities wouldn't allow it. Yeah, she's still suffering from being picked on in school for being mixed and not belonging to the Black kids or the white kids. And honey, that now that she got that center stage, all you MFers can get it. Until she heals those insecurities, mom is gonna fight no matter what. And I just seem like one of those deep from what's happening types. Ooh, I'm telling. Or one of those I'm never satisfied with anything types. He just gives me that. Probably was one of those overlooked little boys that never got chose to play tag or something. So he just became the teacher's pet and told on everybody. Plus, I think there may have been some underlying jealousy going on from him with Funky too. Because, you see, Funky has that duality personality going on for him that Al doesn't. And Funky told us that no, he wasn't the cool kid, but he was the smart and funny kid. With that being said, he may not have been picked to play tag neither, but he most certainly was picked to referee the game and bring the laughter. Al couldn't pull that educated card on Dineva either because Funky got his papers too and is very well versed in other topics outside of gossip. And I definitely could sense a little underlying jealousy from Al towards Dineva. However, he ain't as sadistic as Claudia. But bottom line, TGIF was going to burn down anyway, just like Queens of Cocktails, due to they had a very vindictive person sitting in the middle. Now, the middle is where vindictive people want to be. However, once in a position, they often don't know what to do with it because their best dirty work is usually done standing behind everybody or on the sideline. Now, Dineva said that Al wasn't a diva and that he was very insecure on whether he was able to keep up with the hot topics. And child, he said the man was just like me, needing cue cards. That's all right, Al. We just people that are made to be behind the camera and not in front of the camera. Al, go on, throw your cue cards down and just become a producer, child. Hell, that's where the money is anyway. But I digress. So Carlos asked Dineva outside of the other hosts what were the other things that he didn't like, and Dineva touched on how he was upset about not understanding what the direction was the network was trying to go with the show. He said that every time they would ask questions, the network would just talk in circles. And baby, corporate love to do that to us. It's just cold, and the real answer is you are just here to meet the quota. That's it, and that's all. So they finally got into what we all came here for, the mess. Okay, so let's get into it. Carlos finally asked Funky, what did he think about the roast? And Funky confirmed just what I thought. He said he felt that a battery was put in Armand's back and that Claudia spoon fed him all the information that was said. I'm just kidding. Quentin didn't put a name on it, but Funky Bunch, y'all know Miss Funky Dineva Ross, the boss, would have. So I just filled in for her. Funky basically said that Armand was too immature for the position, and I do agree with that. Now, Armand is a fellow Gemini twin such as myself, and one thing about us, we are very creative, well-versed, and know how to pivot very well. But if we don't watch those emotions, baby, those emotions will get us every time. Funky did say that Armand definitely has the talent to go very far, and I agree with that as well. But once you work on those emotions, my fellow twin. So as the interview was near closing, Carlos asked Dineva what was next for him, and Dineva said he wanted to go into late night talk and that he was headed back to the ATL to wake those sleepy girls up. Because, child, those Atlanta girls are very much dead over there. Child, they got scrappy and chaotic over there looking very strange for a small piece of change. Yeah, Dineva, go on back and get those girls together. Anyway, this was a very good interview. I don't think it was needed. I do think it was needed, and it did clear up a few things for me. And Carlos, you did a fabulous job. Quentin, you answered all the questions just how you supposed to. I did notice you had a hard time accepting your to-dos, so let me give it to you, baby. You are most definitely the king/queen of the reality TV review/recaps, and there is no denying that. Your girl Classic Boots would like to give you your flowers, because you most definitely deserve it. You've been in the YouTube game for 13 years, and you have fallen in front of us more than a few times, and baby, you also showed us how to get back up in front of the same people. And for that, Quentin Lathan, aka Funky Dineva, we salute you. All right, y'all. Thanks for stopping by. Please like, comment, and subscribe.